Hey, everybody, and welcome to another variety of music here at Rocksmith. My name's Dan Amrick, and I am not ready to do this, clearly. I'm your community developer on behalf of Rocksmith, and what we're doing this Thursday, as we do every Thursday, is we're reviewing the latest DLC that is downloadable content, if you were wondering. The new songs that are in the Rocksmith library for you to play and learn how to play yourself. It is 4 very different songs from 4 different decades, and we are going to play all 4 of those today. We're also going to take your questions. We're going to give you things. We have prizes from Ernie Ball. We also have some Steam codes to give away, and we're going to play some music. And we're going to say goodbye in a very special segment. We have to say goodbye to someone. Who will it be? You will find out. After we play this trailer, though, we're going to just start with music. So let's play the trailer for Variety Pack 17. That's what XVII is in Roman, everybody. And after this, we'll actually kick it off begging someone to stay.
Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. Yeah. Size, but never leave the stream of warm and permanent sand. So the days float through my eyes, but still the days seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their world, two can play this game. We both one bow. Short years, we've come long way to trade it bad and
Oh, see, you put me on ahead. That was the going Dan, Dan, Dan. It's going to be one of those shows, folks. I'm telling you right now. You have joined an extremely live stream here from Ubisoft San Francisco, where hopefully everything goes right. But if nothing technical goes wrong, you can count on me to screw it up. What we're going to do today, as I mentioned, is we're going to play all 4 songs from our Variety Pack 17. That's our current package of DLC that's out on all platforms right now. And we're going to kick it off with Lisa Loeb's Stay. You may have noticed that Lisa Loeb knows who we are because over on Twitter, she tweeted out and said, if you are learning this song through Rocksmith, please send me videos of you doing that. So why don't you take a look at this, see if this is the kind of song you want to learn, and if you can handle it, and then, yeah, share it with both her and us on Twitter. That would be great. And to show you how it should be played, Anthony and Greg had to remember who it was. Anthony and Greg, which let's just show them. Why not? Let's get it out of the way. Show them. Just show Anthony and Greg. There it is. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Greg. Oh,
Peekaboo. Hey,
yeah,
Dan.
Greg.
Hello
It
there.
doesn't. If they can't see, if you can't see them, they can still see you.
This one?
With blinders on. That's great. Hi and welcome and thank you. Does one of you
Hello
want to
and
host
thank you.
today? Would one of you like to just take over? Because it's gone. It's gone.
No,
I've had
no.
a really, really intense week. Like, I was ready to stab people on Tuesday, and normally I don't get ready to stab people until at least Friday morning.
I was going to say that's ahead of schedule.
It's way ahead of schedule. Yeah, the bloodletting, but I've resisted. So I'm very pent up right now. So there's gonna be like maybe some broken bottles juggling. That would be great.
Juggling.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which one of you find note trackers? These are the folks that actually create the tracks that you play, and they put the notes into the tracks. Which of you note trackers track the notes?
I did.
Anthony.
Yeah, I had a blast working on this song, too.
Yeah?
It's a lot of fun. I'm going to be playing the lead arrangement, which is the part that Lisa Loeb plays while she sings. So it features those nice
Chimey
arpeggio,
chords.
the arpeggios in the beginning, and throughout the song. I don't know how she's able to do that and sing at the same time, but she does it flawlessly in a live setting, and it sounds beautiful on the recording.
Helps when it's your song, I think. Yeah.
It's a good point, Dan.
I
That's-
can't help but notice a big silver bar on your 6th fret. What is that?
That is correct. This is a capo. I'm essentially, by using this, moving the nut all the way up to the 6th fret. And if actually, can I get some sound? I'll play for you what these open strings sound like. It actually sounds pretty nice for just open strings. And yeah, it's I'm assuming to maybe accommodate the voicings that Lisa wanted to play. And singer-songwriters use capos for a variety of reasons. It could be to accommodate one's vocal range or just to achieve a specific sound.
Yes.
Yeah, specific chord voicings.
Usually, like Capo 3 is fairly common. People want to
absolutely, yeah.
change
Capo
the key.
2, yeah.
But occasionally you will get further up there. I know, like Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles is Capo 7, and this Capo 6 is just a little unusual to me. But it's very likely. I think you're probably right. It may just be to accommodate that's where it feels comfortable for her to sing the song, or she likes the chimey sound of the chords.
Yeah, it does. It sounds great. Yeah. But I had a lot of fun note tracking this, and I'm so glad that I ended up having time to practice this again, because I had practiced it maybe on Monday, like a couple of times. I just haven't had time to work on it. But yeah, how do you feel about the bass part?
I like it.
Right.
I mean, I had heard the song for years, but like learning the bass line, it's like, okay, it grooves really well with the song.
Yeah.
I mean, it really complements the guitar part. I think you and I should just play it.
I think you should too. I do have one question though. Is there a capo on the rhythm part, or is there another part? Is there just one guitar part?
So
to this?
there is another part. I believe the rhythm part is capo less.
Okay.
Yeah, and it actually features a nice little solo too during I think it's the second chorus. So there's some lead work in there, but mainly it's just it features a lot of different chord voicings to complement what Lisa plays on the acoustic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. It's Stay by Lisa Loeb. You may, in fact, recognize this. Been used in many things, including some very famous films. After this, we'll do our first giveaway from Ernie Ball. So stay, won't you?
Nice, Dan.
Thanks.
voice.
I only hear what I want to. You say I talk so all the time, so. And I thought what I felt was simple, and I thought that I don't belong. And now that I am leaving, now I know that I did something wrong, 'cause I missed you. Yeah, yeah, I missed you. And you say I only hear what I want to. I don't listen hard, don't pay attention to the distance that you're running, to anyone, anywhere. I don't understand if you really care. I'm only hearing negative. No, no, no. So I turn the radio on, I turn the radio on, and this woman was singing my song. Lover's in love and the others run away. Lover is crying 'cause the other won't stay. Some of us hover and we weep for the other who was dying since the day they were born. Well, this is not that thing that I'm throwing, but I'm thrown. And I thought I lived forever, but now I'm not so sure. You try to tell me that I'm clever, that won't take me anyhow or anywhere with you. You said that I was naive, and I thought that I was strong. Oh, I thought, hey, I can leave, oh, but now I know that I was wrong, 'cause I missed you. Yeah, I miss you. You said you called me 'cause you want me, and one day you let me go. You try to give away a keeper, or keep me 'cause you know you're just so scared to lose. You say, stay. You say I only hear what I want to.
That is a gorgeous song.
Really
I mean,
is.
catchy
Really
as hell,
is,
and
yeah.
yet just doesn't sound like a lot of other things. But those arpeggiated chords make it. You've got to practice
Oh, yeah.
getting those accurately. So how do you know when you're doing the notes in the right order? Does the Rocksmith interface show you that? Does it tell
Absolutely.
you like how, and you can slow that down in riff repeater?
Of course, yeah. You can slow that down. You can focus on those specific riffs, those specific arpeggios, and just loop them. And I would recommend starting at a lower level, something that's comfortable at a comfortable tempo, and just continue to loop it. And pay attention to those fingerprint zones so that you know which fingers to use to make those shapes. And then, yeah, I like using, I guess it depends on which part I'm playing, but for the intro, I just downstroke, I downpick everything because it's easier. And for the second voicing, really it's just a matter of figuring out this fingering here and then downpicking all of the notes.
So you're not
I'm not alternate
strings
picking.
there.
Yeah, it's actually fairly simple. I think the most difficult part is getting the fingering down and making sure that your fingers aren't muting other strings that should be ringing out, especially those open strings. That's the toughest part, I think.
That second chord is the star of the
Oh,
song.
man.
Totally.
Very cool voicing.
Yeah.
And I mean, even I love that.
Yeah, the resolution is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
Well
thank
written.
you both.
Of course, yeah.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
And yes, I put the URL for Lisa Loeb's tweet in the chat room. So if you are thinking like, yeah, I mean, seriously, she wants to see you play it, show her that you appreciate that the song is in Rocksmith. It would only help us.
Also,
too.
big thanks to Lisa Loeb
Yes,
for
very
giving us
much.
that
It's
shout out.
always
Thanks
nice
a
when,
bunch.
when we get like that little sort of partnership of
Oh,
people
yeah.
saying like, oh yeah, no, I want people to learn my song through Rocksmith. That sounds great. So.
Yeah.
take her up on that. Thank you both. Yeah. The aforementioned giveaway begins now. You may notice that UB Vertigo is not here. If you're going to PAX West, he's going to go to PAX West. He'll be there. So find UB Vertigo at PAX West and say hello. I don't think he has any Rocksmith picks with him. I didn't send him any. But if you want to win some Rocksmith picks, you can do it right now. And Black Widow 9, our friend Black Widow, hello, it's Tawny. She's in the chat room, and she will take care of you all for what you need for the raffle. We're going to raffle away everything you see here. Brand new set of Ernie Ball guitar strings and bass strings. The regular Slinky variety of each of those. You're going to get both. You're going to get the Wonder Wipes, which is the cleaning and maintenance system for your guitar. Little pre-moistened towelettes with a bunch of good stuff on them, like polish for your guitar body, and then string cleaner, and also a sort of a fretboard conditioner. I recommend using all three a little bit at a time. Also, a peg winder, which makes changing those strings oh so easy. It's a crank, but it's a specific crank, so it's like even you can figure out how this works. Also, a strap. Somebody asked me what color they were. I'm pretty sure they're what you see there. I believe they are black. And a dozen picks from Ernie Ball. I'm not sure what kind they are. They send different ones, seriously, every time that we get them. Sometimes they're nylon picks, sometimes they're celluloid picks, sometimes they're their Everlast picks. You never know. I believe they might be nylon picks at the moment, but you will get 3 of our pink Rocksmith picks. You can only get those here. It's the only place we give them away, not even at PAX West this year. So if you'd like to win everything that you see there, follow the instructions going on in the Twitch chat right now by our friend Tawny. Black Widow 9 is modding while Doug is away, and she is not only authorized to send out to award these to people, but she will be giving away some Steam codes a little bit later on in the show. So if you'd like to win all the songs you're hearing today, we can make that happen too. If you win, you're going to get a whisper from Tawny where she's going to ask you for your personal information. We're looking for your name, your address, and your phone number. It won't go any further than us fulfilling your prize request. Don't worry, you're not going to be added to any database from any nasty stuff. But also, it would help if you let us know how that's formatted. Put slashes in between the lines that you would normally, stagger, especially for the European addresses, because, man, sometimes that gets confusing, and I'm a dumb American. I don't know. My name's Dan Amrich, and I am a dumb American who works for Rocksmith. I'm your community developer, and you have stumbled into the weekly live stream live from Ubisoft San Francisco. We are here in the beautiful city by the bay, slightly overcast today, but sunshine in our hearts, because that's how San Francisco rolls, yo. We're playing through all 4 songs of the Variety Pack 17, and joining us next is Andrew Levin and David Stevens, one of whom is a note tracker and one of whom is not. So that means, Andrew, did you note track changes? I think I've got this one in the bag.
Nope.
No? Who note track changes?
This was a Kokel joint.
Ah, this is a Jason Kokel song.
Who is on vacation.
Well-deserved vacation,
Yes.
I should say. I assume he's getting his beard a tan.
That's
yes.
a mental image I didn't need.
Yeah, this is David Bowie's changes. And again, a couple people have asked why we don't have a David Bowie song pack. And yet I go, well, what we did with Bowie was we didn't get the clearances all at once. So every time that we get a fresh Bowie clearance, we just put it into the game. So there's something like 6 or 7 Bowie songs in the library right now, but there's no collection of them. Please do not confuse "You gave that band their own pack" with "You must not like who I like." It's so weird to me. People are like, "Oh, you gave this band 5 songs, but you only did 3 for Bowie," or whatever. And that's not what it's about. That's not how it works. We get licenses in sort of a random order sometimes, and we don't always get what we ask for. Sometimes it takes a really long time. We might get one song that clears, and another one doesn't show up for years later, literally years later. So please don't take it as like, oh, you don't respect Bowie enough to give him his own pack. No, we respect Bowie so much, and we want his music out there right away. That's why most of the Bowie music is sort of like scattered across variety packs or 70s packs or things like that. So please don't put more into it than is actually there. So that means that both of you guys have nothing interesting to say about this song.
That's not true.
Okay, what would you like to say?
Interestingly,
Yeah.
this is the last song he performed live.
Wow. Okay, that is interesting. Wow.
Yep. Also interesting, there's no guitar in it.
Oh, okay. That's more controversial than interesting.
So what Jason did, and this is a rough idea because he knows much better than I do.
Sure.
He for the lead, it's a mix of the piano and the saxophone bits. The rhythm sticks a little closer to just the straight piano parts, and then there is a bass in it, and
the bass guitar,
and he'll play that.
Good. I'm glad you're going to be playing the bass, Andrew.
Yeah. This has always been one of my favorite songs, and
great.
After playing the bass part, I like it even better because it's such a cool bass part.
The guitar part's really cool too. It's got some interesting chord voicings, and then you get to play some of the saxophone lead parts.
Oh, very cool.
Which is really cool.
All right, well, let's hear it. It's Changes by David Bowie, one of the 4 songs in the Variety Pack 17. And yes, there's no guitar in it. Why is it in the game? We put guitar in it so that you can learn how to play your favorite songs. Music is bigger than the instrument. Keep that in mind, gang. After this, we'll give away the Steam code, so you might get this song for free, if you're lucky.
And my time was running wild, a million dead-end streets, and every time I thought I got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me, but I've never caught a glimpse how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. But never leave the stream of warm and permanent sand. So the days float through my eyes, but still the days seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't tell them to grow up out of it. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Where's the shame you've left us up to our next in it? Time may change me, but you can't twist time. Strange fascination fascinating me. Our changes are taking the pace I'm going through. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Oh, look out, you rock and rollers. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Pretty soon now you're gonna get older. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. I said that time may change me, but I can't trace
That is fun to play on the guitar. It's just sort of like, because your ear knows it's coming, but then it comes in a different form. And this is, we had some people sort of complaining that we sometimes put songs in the game which are heavily requested, or are, you know, because they're big hits and they're songs that people like, and they were like, but there's no guitar in it. Why are you making up guitar parts? Well, so that you can play it, and like it's fun for other people to hear what they know, but in a form that they don't. So please, like, we're not here to just replicate exactly what you've heard. We're here to teach you how to play guitar, and part of learning how to play guitar is trying new things and doing new arrangements.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that, you know, a lot of what I've learned has not been from guitar players. I've learned a ton of sax players, violin players, piano players. I think there's a lot of value to learning things that may be played on the other instrument, because if you learn something that is played originally on another instrument, then you can learn to make sounds that aren't necessarily as common on the guitar, and then you can come up with your own style. Another thing that I think is important that a lot of guitar players can do is learn vocal arrangements. One of the things that makes someone a good soloist is really being able to sing with their guitar, make it sound vocal. So if you can make a song, make the vocal melody sound convincing, then that's a really great educational thing to do.
I feel like I bring up Chet Atkins at every possible opportunity, but Chet Atkins was the master of taking somebody's vocal hit and then arranging it for guitar, where he does a very, you know, complicated rhythm accompaniment, but he would also play that vocal melody as a melody, and you know, like that was his thing, his version of Mr. Sandman. If you're not familiar with that alone is worth doing. I know, like, it's one of the songs you know how to play, and like, oh, you're holding a bass. Sorry.
Enter Sandman. Oh wait.
Yeah. Enter Sandman, bring me a dream. Yeah, excellent. Thank you both.
Sure.
Let's do that second giveaway. We're going to take a short break. You're going to see a little bit of an inside peek at how Rocksmith got made. We have a video here that explains sort of how the look of Rocksmith came about. You know, like there's definitely, you've seen the interface a million times. You know, it looks like you're in somebody's apartment. There's carpets around, there's windows, there's some artwork on the walls and stuff like that. And sort of what was the whole concept behind using that as our interface? Well, you're going to find out while you have the opportunity to win one of 5 Steam codes. So if you're playing on PC or Mac, this one's for you. And if you're not playing on PC or Mac, why not, man? I mean, like, there's you might as well have it on more than one machine at this point, right? But yeah, you're going to get all 4 songs that are in this week's Variety Pack 17 if you are one of our 5 winners. And of course, once again, our community representative, Tawny Black Widow, will go ahead and send you your winning code as a whisper here on Twitch. So do make sure that you have all of your messaging portals open as we go into this break. Take a look, and we'll be back with that sad farewell after this.
We've made a lot of games, and between us we've made dozens and dozens of million-plus selling games. But Rocksmith is the only one that I've worked on that I've seen it change lives. Because a few people in a back room in San Francisco, with the help of a few studios dotted around the world, buckled down and delivered on something that we've all been dreaming about. So we set out immediately to do something different.
You know, with Rocksmith 1, there was no game that went before us that we could say, it's kind of like that. We went down an avenue, we went down an obvious avenue too, just trying to understand the heritage of the guitar, the heritage of the music. That push takes you down a certain avenue, a certain channel. And if you were to look at the reference of this stuff and to ring it out, then it would take you to the direction of Rocksmith 1.
Rocksmith 1 was kind of dark. It had this kind of, I mean, we referred to the main space as a man cave. For many of us, that's not what music is. And although it's called Rocksmith, it's really, MusicSmith just doesn't sound as good. When we go to work on a sequel, we start looking at how do you make sure it feels completely different from the start. And we started to talk about how do you make it feel open and airy and nice and friendly and less intimidating.
We had this idea of this is inclusive, and it's the opposite of man cave, but it's still credible. Like, we were always hanging on to the credibility, you know, the gear and the guitars and all this stuff. My favorite phrase in the world with regards to this is blues lawyer. Like, guys who can play a little bit, who buy like really expensive tacky guitars. We wanted to stay out of that.
That's not particularly everyone's cup of tea.
Right.
You know, we did want to be a lot more fun. You know, we wanted to appeal to a broader audience. You know, in our working environment and in the presentation of Rocksmith, it was very masculine. It was just too much testosterone going on. In terms of art direction, looking at reference, we had to look at interior design, we're looking at fashion design, we're looking at album cover art, you know, we're really branching out in terms of what was relevant, what was fashionable.
We just started throwing everything at the wall that we could. It's not like we walked in one day and said, there's a white wall and some wood. And like, no, that was like a good 3 months. I was pulling a lot of reference for some character stuff that we were trying to explore from the kills. And there was this great picture of the two of them, but it was like on this like blue linoleum floor with like a plain white wall. And I took that and I painted it out, and I kind of made it into this widescreen thing, and I was gonna put the UI in front of it. And then Omar, we were talking about it, and he's like, it's really, really cold, we should put some hardwood, we should put a hardwood floor on that. And like, we did that, and we were like, that was it.
Yeah, and everyone that walked by said, cool, I love that. You know, just really, it's just the appeal of that landscape.
When you see this image of a guy in a room like this, and you think, oh, that's cool. You know, I wouldn't mind being in an apartment like that, or maybe you do live in an apartment like that. And it looks friendly and normal and believable and honest.
The loft is slightly ambiguous on purpose. Whether it be a loft or a gallery space or a studio space, people make their own interpretation of that, and in doing so, that's their level of attachment to that space. The set for the lesson video, it was essentially our ideal studio space.
We really wanted to brighten up the game, so it's just all that more inviting. You could really just feel like, yeah, I could learn guitar here.
I think it works. You know, everyone that came into that space loved it. Everyone was really inspired by it, and we didn't want to take it down.
We talk about the menus a lot. And trust me, we talked about them a lot over the last few years. It started off by just talking about it and saying, we're going to do this and we're just going to have it wide open. So you see the main menu and it's just bam, 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 bam. These are the things you need. It's clear that it's going to be readily accessible. So those changes in structure, all those things, it really comes out of listening to the feedback, reading the reviews, and our own personal experiences.
The visuals for the game, we wanted something very audio reactive. And the first one we were very literal in terms of we put you on stage, you were playing in front of an audience, and you were in a club, you're in a
And those are real
bar.
people, I can see her eyes right there.
We were very literal, and we spent a lot of time and resources creating those things that weren't really essential for you learning the guitar. We needed something in a backdrop that would help and encourage and be emotive. And so we went quite far in the direction of audio, reactive graphics.
Procedurally driven by your guitar.
You know, it's you and your energy and your sound driving those visuals, you know.
It's your vision quest.
The only area that we're really full on with stylistically was the guitarcade area. You know, it had to be a contrast. It had to go bang, you know, you're in guitarcade. It had to really shout out at you.
But even then, you're not literally in an arcade.
No.
Which, but again, was another happy accident because we were going to do that, and then we had to dial it back. Yeah. I should say that we did it on purpose, and we look like geniuses.
Aesthetically, games are like stunted, right? And so there's always that little bit of like, we could do better than that.
There's this pursuit for realism, isn't there, which is one direction. And that's just one side of it. I think in video games, there is a level of responsibility to do something very creative as well and really branch off in that direction. And we're not bound by reality.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rocksmith live stream. My name is Dan Amrick. I'm your community developer, and I, unfortunately for the team, represent the team here at Ubisoft San Francisco when it comes to Rocksmith. But I'm far from the most important person. I'm just the talky guy. What we have are note trackers here. Every week they show you how to best play the music that we have just put out. And this week it's a variety pack. We try to do a little something for everybody, intentionally cherry picking generally hit singles from different decades, things like that. And we've played 2 of those songs so far. We're going to play 2 more of them. We've got some more Ernie Ball gear to give away. And we have to say goodbye to someone very special who's sitting very close to me. We actually said so. Cast your votes now. Who will not be here next week? And if you know anything about Rocksmith and our streams, then you know that Sam Schwartz over there on the wing is always here and is a loyal soldier and has made so many note tracks, and we can depend on him forever. And Shane is flaky as hell and goes off with his band whenever he feels like it. Hail the Sun.
Frequently.
HailTheSun.bandcamp.com if you want to find out.
Quite. What?
Quail the Sun?
Quail the Sun.
Quail the Sun.
It's a smaller, more elegant version of Quail the Sun.
It's based on the state bird of California.
It's my all avian parody of all of your music. That's my next thing. Quail the Sun.
So cool. Let's do this.
So Shane, I believe that this is your last stream with us, not just for a while, but for the foreseeable future.
For the foreseeable future. Indeed it is.
We have to say,
to admit it.
For real goodbye, because your band is doing so well, you're going full-time with your band.
Yeah.
Yay! That's wonderful. That's a fantastic reason to lose you. But, and I know you're going to stay in touch.
Yes.
But, yeah, this is great. What are your plans? You're just going to be touring forever now? Or?
Forever, yeah. From now until the end of time.
Excellent.
I'll be on the road.
Good plan.
So look for me everywhere. No, I start, so Sufferer is the other band that I started, and we have a tour that starts next Thursday and goes for about 2.5 weeks, and wraps up right before our Hail the Sun record comes out. We also just dropped a single the other day. If you want to check it out.
What's the name of it?
Stranger in Our Pictures. It's about, it's kind of about looking back on the time you had and kind of not recognizing a previous version of yourself.
Ooh. Can you find this on the Spotifys and
yes,
the YouTubes?
It's on Spotify. It's on. We have a great, cool music video. Not all stop animation, but for the most part, stop animation.
Oh, cool.
Done by our photographer and videographer Rex. And then, so after the Sufferer tour, I have like a week and a half or so, and then a Hail the Sun tour happens for about 5 or 6 weeks. So it is absolutely just the appropriate time for me to be departing from Studio
the time
Sofa.
has come. I'm sad to see you go.
Because
for one, I was going to say, you don't mind when I sing at you.
Not at all.
I'll just do this randomly. Shane, I have a question. Actually, if you have a question for Shane, now's the time to start asking them, because we're going to have them play a song, but when we come back, we'll do a Q&A session. So this is your last chance to ask Shane any questions about his past, present, or future. Sam is also here. Sam can answer any of your questions about note tracking, about country picking, about anything that he talked about actually on Monday's Encore stream. If you did not tune in to Stupid Guitar Tricks, then you have a fun replay to watch when we're done today. But if you have any follow-up questions for Sam about the tricks and tips that he gave you on Monday.
I also know a few things about Shane's life.
He does,
oh, all right. Excellent.
We can direct some of
so
them
maybe
way.
that's how it's going to work out. But first, we're going to play Movies by Alien Ant Farm to play out your last scene.
It's a line from the song.
Yes, that's they were going to get that. If you just let that joke
from a song. Sorry, we're not sure if it's this one. It's still a riddle.
It's like looking at a past version of yourself and just
not recognizing.
Exactly,
Which one of you fine note trackers tracked the notes?
I did.
It was Sam.
I did.
Sam,
awesome.
and you said you
Sam did.
you wanted to play it because you really like the song, right?
Yeah, I remember being young and watching MTV, and Alien Ant Farm had the 2 hits, one being the cover of
Michael Jackson,
Jackson, and the other being this movie's hit, which I loved the video. I loved the
Willy Wonka references.
Yeah, the band just seemed like so much fun.
Yeah,
so
they had a sense of humor about themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
It goes a long way.
It's such a good song.
Anything you want to impart? Any opening wisdom?
This bass player is killer.
It is notable that usually we have the note tracker play the lead path, but you immediately say, "I want bass."
Yeah, no, I think his name is Ty Zamora. Is that right?
Okay.
It's a really crazy cool name, and he's
more or less.
He can totally. So he plays a 6-string, and like in that cover of the Michael Jackson song, he's playing all this like slap stuff, and he's also singing all the high notes.
Nice.
So like if you watch him, he's like, I don't know, but it's
so high.
It's super high, but he's playing the bass part at the same time. He's like one of those killer dudes. And there's a video of him teaching you how to play this bass part, which made it all the more easy.
Oh, that's really nice. Cool. You lucked out.
Right, except some of it's on the 6th string, and I was like, pump it up. So like the end of the song is actually on the 6th string.
Okay.
So you'll see.
Oh, he's got a high 6.
He's got a C on top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
let's do it.
Let's run through it. It's Movies by Alien Ant Farm. After this, your questions hopefully answered. I'll be taking a peek at the document, and Tawny will be helping get all your questions to me in time.
You guys hear the line? It's my last scene.
Yeah, way up there, man. What, 19th fret?
Yeah,
That's
but
really
that's on the C string.
Sure.
So that's like C string note.
Right.
But like that would be crappy to play up there. So I was
Right.
like, yeah, maybe. And that's still the same shape.
And it's, I mean, that's a judgment call you have to make when you're dealing with that, when you're transposing for a different instrument. That's
What are you gonna do?
Wow,
That.
Shane, that was bittersweet. Oh my god. Actually, before we get to the questions, because there are quite a few questions, and sorry, many of them are for Shane. I wanted to get you something as a going away present, and I wanted to save it for the stream. But I didn't actually want to spend any money on you.
That's great.
So
It's my life.
So there's been a hoodie hanging outside of the interrogation room, conference room. And
gray
so,
one?
Yeah. And so what I did is I took that and I washed it. And since nobody has claimed it in 2.5 months, I want you to think about me, but not think that I think too much about you. So it's a size large. It's a Uniqlo. It's really nice. Yeah. It's for those chilly nights when you're on the bus or in the van.
So it's like a piece of Ubisoft.
It's very heavy.
So yeah, it's like it's a nice memory of Ubisoft without thinking that we actually care.
I appreciate that more than anything.
So here, but at least, hey, I washed it. So I'm just saying, I took the initiative to wash it.
That's the biggest move right there.
This is also a PSA. Don't leave your clothes around Ubisoft because I'll steal them, wash them, and give them to Shane. You may receive more clothing
that's
over
good.
time.
I don't really. I don't go shopping very often. So the more you can just provide me with new clothes, the less I look homeless.
You know what color looks good on Shane? Gray. You know what color looks even better on Shane? Free.
Yes.
So yes, enjoy the hoodie. Makoto Futora has a question. Speaking of Alien Ant Farm, how does licensing a cover work? For example, Alien Ant Farm's Smooth Criminal, which, of course, when people hear movies, they also think of the other song that they got a lot of airplay for. Really great hard rock cover of Smooth Criminal. And another example of how you can take a song from its original arrangement and make it your own. How do you need Alien Ant Farm's permission and also the original artist? Yes, that's exactly what we have to do, because whoever owns Michael Jackson's publishing, which I believe is the Michael Jackson estate at this point, because he owns other people's songs, I assume he also keeps his own songs. So yeah, we would need to get, we always need to get the approval of the master recording rights holder and the songwriting rights holder. Sometimes it's the same person. Sometimes those are split up into different people too. Like if a whole band has writing credit on a song, we would need permission from all 5 of those people or their representatives in order to get the songwriting. So for a cover, it's just not one-stop shopping. For Lisa Loeb, she wrote her stuff, and I believe she owns her stuff, and so, it was easy to say we'd like both of these, and we're dealing with a lot of the same people. So we would have to go to Michael Jackson's camp to get the Smooth Criminal permission, and then we would have to go through the label to get the Alien Ant Farm recording of that, because those are the 2 different parts. So it's not impossible. We do covers in the past. We've got I Will Survive by the Cake's version of Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive. We've got the original version of Holy Diver by Dio, but also the Killswitch Engage version. So, in a case like that, we were able to, hey, if we've already gotten...
Right?
Yes, Bad Romance by both Lady Gaga and Hailstorm.
Are in the game, yeah.
So, yeah, these are not uncommon. Well, that happens. Cake is one of those instances where we got the cover, we got the permission for the cover, but we didn't have the original. So it's not impossible, but, we've talked about some of the hurdles that we go through on licensing in the past. I won't belabor them, but it's a long process, and it's a very indirect process. And it might be a little bit harder to license a cover, but it's nothing that we've had stop us before. We still continue to try.
That Cake song is worth it for the bass line alone.
Yeah, oh my God, all the Cake. The 5-pack of Cake is like bass heaven. It's really, really fun stuff to play. Lurch Spice says, Shane, what do you consider the most vital skills needed to become a full-time musician?
Perseverance.
Notice there was no delay in that answer.
Yeah, and that's people have asked me, or our band, a lot of times, like what the most important thing is, and I just say, just do it. Kind of. Then I steal the Nike slogan, but really, like whatever you're doing, keep doing it. If you're writing songs, keep writing songs. You're gonna get better. You're gonna learn as you go, as you iterate. If you like to book tours, if you want to play shows, do those things. Just keep the machine in motion.
All right.
Can I also add that Shane is the most organized person I've ever met?
Really?
Thanks, Mom. Not you, but my mom taught me.
Oh, I was going to say, like, what was that? What is your relationship like?
My mom is very organized as well.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he's extremely organized. So it's like when all those moving parts are going, I think that has to
keep track of them.
Yeah, he's able to keep all those balls in the air because he's so good at it.
But I ironically cannot juggle.
I could. Oh, if I had known, I would have taught you before you left, and you could have had something to practice on the road.
It's another ball in the air.
Damn it.
3.
Yeah. Tufty McTavish says, as a professional musician, how many hours a day do you spend practicing?
Truthfully, practicing, it's not as much as I want because I'm here a lot of the day. But when I
not for much longer.
I know.
Right.
Anyway, on off days and even in my evenings, I try and get about an hour of practice, especially with tours coming up. I'm running the set every night and slowing down parts and making sure I have stuff nailed.
Mostly what we have here are wishes, well wishes, which is nice.
Throw those pennies in.
Yeah,
Thank
wishing
you.
Shane all the very best. Mad Al says his PC is in pieces, but he dropped everything to wish you well, and you're so small on his iPhone screen. He almost didn't recognize you.
Hold me closer.
To Shane, you will be missed, but I will look for you on tour and hope for more music of yours in the game. That's a good point. Thanks, Shane. Hope you stop by every once in a while, says Pie Man. That's true. Anytime you're in town and you feel like swinging by and you know it's a Thursday, get your ass in here.
You got it.
You're always welcome to come by. And parting words for Shane from Rocksmith Guy. Amazing performance.
Oh, thank you.
I will totally miss Shane. That was from Bisco Bid. He also adds, I will totally miss Shane and the epic beard, but mostly your attitude and your skills are something that he looks up to. So thank you for being a beacon to our people. That's pretty much it. Although, I do have one. Sam, you can tackle this one. Dansla116 says, do note trackers ever check their tabs from sites like Ultimate Guitar when you're first starting to transcribe a song?
Ooh.
Do you check sort of this is my best guess that's out there on the internet? Obviously a lot of other players do, but do you want to be influenced by that stuff when you start a track, or do you want to start with what your ears tell you?
My thing is always take everything with a grain of salt.
Right.
And your ears are your best your best
tool.
Barometer. Yeah, your best tool. So sometimes you'll be like, oh, I didn't think about doing it that way, and you'll see some tabs somewhere, and you'll be like, oh, that's really clever way to think about doing that, and maybe it'll inspire you to look, especially if there's not good video evidence of that person playing that part in that position.
Sure.
Right. So if you have tabs as a reference, it's that's another way to think about it, and that just opens your mind to it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not a thing just to be like, cool, I'm just going to copy and paste. Right. But it's also, because a lot of times, even tab books, like with Stevie Ray Vaughan, right? We noticed one of the things that was really intense for me, just as a guitar player who's been transcribing music for years now, to look at the Stevie Ray Vaughan book that I grew up playing songs from, and realizing the chord and Couldn't Stand the Weather was wrong.
Yeah.
It was in the wrong position. And I was and because they did it before YouTube existed. And so if I had just trusted the tabs and put everything in there that was just the tabs, I would be wrong. And a lot of people play it that way. I played it that way for, I don't know, a gajillion years.
Well, it becomes the popular sort of interpretation. And that's the thing. Even when those tab books say authentic tab edition or whatever, it is almost never the artist sitting down with a pen and paper and saying, this is how I do it. Right. Sometimes it is. We know for a fact that Death Clock, those tabs came straight from Brendan Small.
Dream Theater does that too.
Sure.
They don't necessarily do that, but they edit the tabs. So I know John Petrucci goes in there and he'll look at the tabs and be like, oh no. John Petrucci. Or I play it in this. Oh, there you go. There you go. So yeah, so but
yeah, it's generally somebody's interpretation, which, depending on how expert that person is and what their resources are, sometimes an internet tab is going to be very accurate. Sometimes a printed tab in a book is going to be not so accurate. Speaking from experience, having to deconstruct all of Paul McCartney's bass lines for my Beatles Star Wars project, which I happen to be running the logo for today.
Whoa.
We got the big giant, the Beatles complete scores. It's this giant white hardcover book. It's $100, and we were like, our problems are solved. We're going to learn how to play and most of Paul's bass was wrong in that. And I'm just using my ears, and I'm like, that's not possible. You're missing notes, and these notes are in a completely different part of the neck. It doesn't make any sense. Human hands don't work that way. There was still a lot of interpretation.
You don't ever know who it's transcribed by.
Right, and if they were phoning it in, or if they were working from a bad source or something.
Yeah, they could be. Those people might have been transcribing from tabs too.
Right.
And so you have to be like, I have to use my ears.
Trust yourself.
Many grains of salt.
Yeah, trust yourself. And
I will say though that the tabs have been very helpful in situations where we have really weird tunings, like the Joni stuff. Between
the Buried in Me, BT Bam.
Oh, what was that song that I did where he had 4 strings and they were all tuned to D or something? Whatever. There's the president of the United States of America or whatever.
Oh yeah, well they're playing weird stuff.
Yeah,
bass guitar. Yeah.
And so that stuff I was like, I don't know what's happening. So luckily the internet had my back.
Yeah, their bass, they played a 2-string bass.
Yeah.
And a 3-string guitar, and then later in their career they added a 4th string. So yeah, how are you you've
life is hell, man.
If I had trusted my ears, you would not have been right.
Yeah. All right. Well, Shane, obviously, thank you so much for everything you've brought to the show, that you've brought to the team. Thank you for being here now.
My pleasure.
hailthesun.bandcamp.com. Any other social media portals we should know about?
Suffer, right?
All of them are everywhere. Yeah, just look up either Hail the Sun or Sufferer, and your results should lead you to me.
All right. Thank you very much. Hail the Shane on Twitter.
Yes.
That's your personal.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you, and that's what you do on Instagram as well. Hail the Shane on Instagram and Twitter. And I noticed that you post missives from the road and when you're out there at shows,
tour diary
and,
stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So if you'd like to follow Shane, that's how to do
Please
it.
Please
do. Thank you both.
Thank you.
In case you missed it, this is not our first variety pack. Maybe the number 17 gave you a clue, but. In addition to the variety packs, before there were variety packs in Rocksmith history, we had a series called Hit Singles. And Hit Singles was one of my dumb ideas because I said, these are all hit singles. Everybody's going to love it. And then what we wound up with was people saying, it wasn't a hit where I was from. And we found out that the term hit singles was actually very controversial, and people didn't like it because it meant different things to different people. And I saw this incredible, like, crazy internet argument on our forums. Well, what constitutes a hit? And I'm like, oh, then we're doing this. So they were like, Dan, we're not going to use hit singles. And I'm like, that's fine, thank you. Because I created my own problems in my own community. So it's worth bringing up only because you may be looking for other variety packs that we've done, and these hit singles packs are some of the ones that may be off your radar. So once again, are a pretty scattershot as things go. Asia, Wild Cherry, Play That Funky Music. You know, these are good songs that you probably recognize from whenever. Working for the Weekend is one of my favorites. Last time we had an office party and we did a Rocksmith karaoke thing. I got up there and I belted out Working for the Weekend. I had a lot of fun with that. And it's a lot of fun to play on guitar as well. A little sort of riff towards the lower part of the neck. So if you're looking for more variety in your library and you weren't aware that the Hit Singles series is a series, there's packs 3 and 4. Obviously, if you go online, you can find out about Hit Singles 1 and 2. And I believe there was a Hit Singles 5. I don't think there was a Hit Singles 6, but I think there was a Hit Singles 5 before we finally pulled the plug on my terrible idea. So I hope you enjoy those songs if that's something you're looking for. Over the 3-day weekend here in America, Labor Day, many people have Monday off. Not everybody, and I'm sorry if you're not one of those people, but I have it off and I'm not coming into work. So maybe I'll get a chance to play some guitar, maybe even play some Rocksmith. You are watching the Rocksmith live stream. My name is Dan Amrick. I am, I guess, 36 hours from having a day off, which is kind of great. And I'm the community developer on behalf of the game. If you're not familiar with Rocksmith, it's the thing that you do where you take the guitar and you plug the cable into the guitar and then you plug the cable into the PS4 or the PS3 or your PC or your Xbox, and then it teaches you how to play guitar as if by magic with several hours of work from you. So I think that's probably the worst description ever given to Rocksmith, but if you'd like to learn more, go to rocksmith.com, and better copywriters will be able to explain exactly what the Rocksmith experience is. Or ask your friends here in the chat room. They know. They've been here for a while, and they use the software too, and it probably worked for them, or else they wouldn't still be here. Look who else is still here. It's Brian Shu, and it's also Travis Kindred.
Hey.
Good to see you both.
Yep.
I'm very tired this week. Have you noticed?
I haven't, but I mean until now.
Yeah.
Now I notice.
I did not sleep well last night. I actually tried to get to sleep, and then I got like a distressing text message that caused... You know, sometimes when you lie awake in bed and your mind just is on a constant loop and you can't shut it off, and then you wake up the next morning and you're like, why was I so upset about that thing? It totally doesn't matter.
Yep.
That did not happen. I woke up and I was still upset about that thing. So I couldn't get to sleep, and then when I did sleep, I did not sleep soundly.
Oh, yeah.
So the upside is... randomly fun show. You never know what I'm going to say. Maybe I'll curse today, if you're lucky.
Again.
I think I did it once. I think in 4 years I've done it once.
Right.
Just once. Brian Shu and Travis Kindred, you are here to play a song. Do you know what song that is? Do you remember? Because I don't.
Touch of Grey.
Oh, Touch of Grey! Okay. This is actually my favorite song. I like all 4 of the songs in this pack, which is always nice when it happens. You know, it's not the point. We're not building the packs around my personal musical tastes, or yours for that matter. We're trying to make as many people as happy as possible. It just so happens that these 4 songs intersected. But Touch of Grey came out when I was a senior in high school. That's how old I am. And my sister was a huge Deadhead. So she was like, oh, you know, it's like a rite of passage. You got to go to your first Dead show between high school and college if you go to college. And I'm like, okay. And so I go with her, and I had the worst time. We went to JFK Stadium in Philadelphia. It was the last event before the stadium was condemned and destroyed.
Oh.
The car broke down on the way from Trenton, New Jersey to Philly. Not the longest commute in the world. Terrible.
That sounds like such a bad drive.
I asked a friend if he would come with me, and he did. And he sat there, and he came wearing all black, a black T-shirt, black aviator shades, and there's like a million hippies, you know, having a lot of fun. There's your clip. Okay, have fun clipping that.
The turn.
And he just stood there like that. And, you know, and then because I was familiar with Touch of Grey, there was a certain amount of derision within the Deadhead community.
Yeah.
You're a touch head.
Yeah.
My sister actually, she said, you're a touch. You're not a real Deadhead. You don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I've listened to American Beauty. You play it all the time. I know Ripple. I know, you know, Sugar Magnolia. And, you know, so I knew sort of like the hits as much as the Grateful Dead ever had hits. They have songs they're more famous for than not, I suppose.
Right.
So I was really thrilled to see like this band that had been out there working and had a really dedicated fan base, and they actually got some chart success for one of the first times in their career, and then it turned into like a negative thing for some of the fans. So don't do that. Don't be that gatekeeper. Let people enjoy your band, even if they enjoy it on a different term.
Well, you know, I think in relation to like the Grateful Dead, like their whole deal was that they derived this community and this culture really around their music, and that I think very much sets them apart, right?
Yes.
And it became sort of a trope of the like jam band scene. Fish had a similar following.
Mo and
right, and the list goes on. But you really can trace it back to the Dead, right?
Yeah.
Like they, you know, it's so funny for me because like growing up, you know, I listened to a lot of like dad rock, right? You know, like
me too.
Yeah, and I love it, right? That's definitely my jam, but. I never got into the Grateful Dead because I always thought they were this like crazy metal band because it's like, oh, Grateful Dead, they must be like insane.
Yeah, dead.
Right, and so
no aggression
finally,
here,
like in high school, like a friend was like, oh yeah, you should check this out, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is definitely not what I thought it was, and it's really interesting. You know, I mean, they just. Like what are they, right? That's the question.
Yeah, like they weave folk and country and jazz influences
and
all into a rock
variety,
context. Yeah.
Like that was the whole thing. Like you couldn't just go see one show. You had to go see every show.
Right.
Right. And that's why you would follow them. You know.
Right. Because they would do, and their set list changes every night,
and they would
had
play
such a deep,
longer than your average
library.
record would.
Right. So yeah. In any case, this is one of their shorter songs. This was sort of. Commercial hit.
It's 5 minutes 59 seconds.
Yeah, it's short-ish, I suppose. Shu, did you do the note track?
I did do this.
Yes, I thought you might.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Now there's two guitarists. There's Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir. Did you wind up doing lead and rhythm for that?
In this particular recording, there's like 1 million guitars. Right? Like so. I'm actually just gonna play rhythm because I'm not good enough to play the lead right now.
I don't
didn't
believe that.
I didn't practice it at all. So,
okay.
And I don't want to make a fool of myself. It's about like, it's a good chunk of the tune. So
it's also a good strummer anyway. Like you know, just like the rhythm part in this is fun. You could play it and sing along, or your friends sing along.
The one thing I do want to bring up the solo, even though I'm not gonna play it. The solo is really cool because it shows you how you can use chord shapes to play solos.
Yeah.
Because he basically just he moves triads around. Basically, he just plays a lot of stuff like that, and he kind of just slides it around as his solo, and it's very melodic, and each note fits the chord progression basically.
Yep.
So he can't play a bad note if you're doing that.
Yeah. The bass player does the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's just you're just moving around shapes.
Yeah.
But it moves around.
Oh yeah.
Bassline is extremely active in this.
But you'll notice that like the shifts really only happen with chord changes.
Okay.
Right? It's not like I'm moving around within a chord zone. It's really like you were saying, like it changes shape with the sort of harmonic structure of the song.
All right. Cool. So watch for the changes on the bass. Watch for the chords to sort of support the leads, I guess, is how it's going to look to people if they're looking at the rhythm path. The rhythm path is kind of going to support the lead and give the lead a context, to be in. So groovy. Let's play it. Seriously groovy. San Francisco's own Grateful Dead, one of the 4 songs in this week's Variety Pack 17. After this, the final Ernie Ball prize pack. You could win it.
I like how it's kind of a false start.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Trying to get it out of
So, Shu, you kind of inadvertently made this song by not playing the lead a complete Travis showcase. Everybody is floored with that bass line.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, that's another reason I was like, it's probably cool to show off the
just
bass
let
line.
this go. Yeah,
it's a great. Like he's a great bass player.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I think he's one of the first guys to really start using 5-string bass a lot as well.
Yeah,
like
yeah, which became very hip in the jam band scene. Like everyone was using 5s after that.
Right.
But also like he does that thing where his pick is just up and down the whole time like a rhythm guitarist. And then it's really when he's placing the notes down that's where you get these like very like the syncopation is not coming from like tricky lines. It's coming from weird placement within the beat, So like instead of being, it's just it's all this upbeat stuff because he's just using the upstrum, and it's so interesting.
Some people were suggesting, is it too busy? Like, do you think that this is too busy? Does it intrude on the song at all? Because it's such an active bass line. People's attention were being brought to it. Maybe because they're also seeing it as it goes by. But, our audience is like, I'm listening specifically for guitar and bass parts. And because people are like, it's almost too many notes.
I mean, if you listen to the song, it's a wall of sound. There's like so many instruments, and like the rhythm guitar that I notated is actually kind of a hum and strum. It's not exactly what they played, because if I were to notate exactly what he was playing, it'd be way too complicated for most people to play for 6 minutes.
Right.
Basically, I just notated that strummy thing because it's the gist of what they're playing, and when they play it live, that's the gist of what they're doing, and then they'll like put licks around it or whatever
and make it 3 times as long.
Yeah.
Well, like the other thing is like you just touched on a very important distinction, right? Because like that is the reason I'm not a huge Deadhead, is because there's so much.
Right.
Like musically, everything is so dense, except really the melody. Like the chorus just we all heard the chorus like 8 times. But everything under it changed every
single time. Yes, you're absolutely right.
That's what you're listening for. When we're saying like, is it too busy? Is it hard to hear the song? It's like you're hearing the song.
Yeah.
Like that's why it sounds that way. It's engineered to do that.
Right.
If the bass player was just doing for 6 minutes, you'd get bored pretty quick. Like sometimes a busy bass line is what creates a lot of excitement in the song. And that particular bass line is, like, to me, kind of like I would use James Jamerson as an example.
Yeah.
That very busy style of bass kind of creates a forward momentum for music.
Yeah.
And this definitely has that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
It would be a lot more boring if it wasn't doing that, in my opinion.
I think you're absolutely right. I think the forward motion of the song comes from the busyness of the bass playing, the sort of erratic nature of the lead guitars, right? And the chemistry of all of the instrumentalists at once. Because like one thing I always recommend whenever anyone is at all even a little bit interested in jam band music is watch a DVD, watch a video on YouTube, whatever you got. Because I was super not into the Dead, not into Fish at all, and then someone was like, "Oh, we're gonna sit down and watch this Fish DVD," and I was like, "Oh, I get it." Because when you watch them do it, you're just like, "Oh, like everyone's just totally locked in."
Yeah.
And it's just it's this stream of consciousness within music, and it's like kind of like jazz, but it's way more relatable if you come from a rock background.
Yes,
right.
I would agree with that.
He does have a jazz background as well.
Yes, and you can hear it a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's way more digestible if you're like not down to go down the Coltrane, path.
Right. Yeah, it's awesome. I like all the Grateful Dead bass lines are actually really cool.
Yeah,
they're just
that's the one part that comes in a lot.
Yeah, that's my favorite lick in the.
And it just like it's really interesting because it doesn't change.
No, it doesn't.
And
that's his anchor.
It's very consistent. Yeah.
And it's so cool.
And he actually places that in the very right, like the perfect spot each time. And you're
it's satisfying every time.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, it's sort of funny because right after the fade out, the last thing you hear is just a little bit of that one more time. Yeah.
By the way, and it's not just your playing, but the Caprice bass is also getting some love here because the tone was very clear, cutting through. Everybody could hear it. And actually, Makoto Futora says he's already got a bongo from Music Man, but this is he's like, that's it. This has made me now absolutely want a Caprice. And this is a passive bass. Somebody's like, oh, well, it sounds like it's active. The pickups are that clear. It is a passive bass.
It's a gorgeous bass, and it's funny because the bongo, like, I always, like, when that came out, I hated it.
I still want a bongo because it looks so insane.
Well, I was like, well, the reason it looks so crazy is because it was designed by BMW.
Yeah.
Right? It was Ernie Ball and BMW. And I was
Let's
like,
do a bass guitar.
Yeah. Okay. If you know how to carve, you can do guitar. And so I like swore them off just right off. I was like, this is ridiculous. And then for Rocksmith Live,
we got a five-string
bongo, and I was like, oh, I'll play it because there was one tune that had a 5-string part, and I fell in love with it. And I'm like, I need one. it's so great.
And then, like a jerk, I sent it back.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I was the only one who was really upset.
You did bond with the bongo. Everybody else is like, yeah, that's fine. You can send it back, but can we keep the Caprice a little bit longer? I'm like, I'll find out. It's no skin off of my nose. And you're like, no,
that's the bongo.
It's a beautiful candy apple red too.
It was so nice. But yeah, the Caprice and the bongo play totally differently. They sound totally different, and they're just completely different animals. Like, and the bongo really in the Music Man line is its own thing.
It really is. And it is Marmite, right? You either love it or you hate it.
It's totally. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, there's a Marmite reference for those of you that know what Marmite is. Thank you both very much. Let's wrap this up with our final giveaway. Speaking of Ernie Ball, thank you for the perfect segue. Speaking of Ernie Ball, we've got some prizes you can win from Ernie Ball. Sorry, no Music Man bongo bass, and we're keeping the Caprice. It's on permanent loan at this point. But you can win everything you see here, not some of, but absolutely everything that you see here. Brand new Ernie Ball strap, a sampler pack of Wonder Wipes, which is their maintenance system for guitar, a peg winder to help you change the strings, because you're going to get new strings, both for your guitar and for your bass. You're also going to get some picks, 12 from Ernie Ball, and 3 from us, the exclusive, only able to be found here, pink Ernie Ball, pink Rocksmith Guy, Skullboy, not Rocksmith Guy, Skullboy picks. We still have them, and you will still get some. I put 3 in every package. So if you would like to win this, all you have to do is whatever Black Widow says. Black Widow is Tawny. She's our community rep. Hi there, Tawny. Hope everything's going cool, and thank you for wrangling all the giveaways. So if you win this, which is going to be a random draw through Moobot, then you're going to get a whisper from Black Widow where she asks you, she confirms that you're the winner, and she will ask you for your information. Please do freely give her your name, your address, and your phone number. She will send it to me. I will put it on a package, and it won't go any further than that. I mean, the package will go further than that. The package will hopefully reach you at your home. That's why we put the phone number on there in case the shipping company has any problems delivering. They will try to call you rather than just send it back to us. But, yeah, we don't keep your information. It's just for making the delivery as easy as humanly possible. So good luck to you. Follow the instructions that are going on right now in the Twitch chat, and maybe you'll win. Now, every Friday morning, Doug, UB Vertigo, who is currently at PAX West, or will be at PAX West this weekend, he's traveling today. If you are going to PAX West in Seattle, please do keep an eye out for Doug. And say hello and give him whatever appropriate hug he is willing to accept. I don't know if he's a hugger, and he may not want to hug strangers, but I know that fist bumping is very popular at PAX West, so as to try not to spread the PAX flu, the PAX pox, as it's been called. That's just part of convention, man. But he would normally post the puzzle every week. We give away a clue on Fridays in our forums. And he's not here to do it. Now, we have the clue. The clue has been uploaded and given to us by our friend Rolling Stone 222. He goes out of his way to make some interesting puzzle. Sometimes they're very easy. Sometimes they're very hard. Sometimes a lot of people have to work together on them, and sometimes one person goes, I know what that means. Boom, done. So what will it be tomorrow? You'll have to tell us. Show up at the Rocksmith.com forums. Somebody, one of us, is going to put that clue up for next week's DLC. I saw what it was, and I had to smile because I'm like, I would not have expected that being the vector in to the solution, but it checks out. So it's a solvable puzzle, and you can help solve it with the other folks in the Rocksmith forum tomorrow at rocksmith.com. Again, I'm not sure exactly what time that will be going on because Doug is on the East Coast time frame. It might be a little bit later if I need to post it. If Tawny's going to post it, I don't know who's posting it. We'll figure it out in email after the show. I also have some other meetings, so I should wrap this up. Thank you very much for being here. We will see you next Thursday, same time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UTC. I will try to get some sleep between now and then, so I'm a little bit more coherent, but thank you for sticking with us. I hope you won something. If you didn't win something, please do come back next week and tell your friends, hey, they've got stuff to give away. We give away 7 things every week. That's pretty cool. If you didn't see the Rocksmith Encore, please go back and see that. Monday, we did a special show. We do one a month of Rocksmith Encore on a different topic, sometimes a random topic or a very unusual topic. This time it was stupid guitar tricks, little things, little licks and tricks and techniques and sounds and weird stuff that you can do on your guitar that maybe you want to add to your library too. You want to like impress your friends and be like, well, what the hell was that? You're like, oh, I learned that from Rocksmith. But not from Rocksmith. I learned it from Rocksmith Encore. So they know what you're talking about. So check out our replays here on Twitch. You can also find them on YouTube. And that's pretty much it. We're going to leave you with another look at Variety Pack 17. All 4 of these songs are available now. You can get them together as a pack for a slight discount, or if you just want to get 1 or 2 songs, they're available as individual singles as well on the platform of your choice. PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, PC, or Mac. Enjoy your long weekend. If you're here in America with us, by all means, let the world know that you're spending some time playing Rocksmith over the weekend. I'm Dan Amrich, and I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. Size, but never leave the stream of warm and permanent sand. So the days float through my eyes, but still the days seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their world, two can play this game. We both one bow. Lover is